The Galactic Empire was a powerful force that ruled many planets in the universe. With their advanced technology and vast armies, they felt unstoppable. One day, they set their sights on Earth, a small blue planet in the far corner of the galaxy. The Empire believed that humans were weak and would easily surrender to their might. On Earth, a sense of dread hung in the air. News of the Empire's approach spread quickly. People rushed to their homes, and leaders gathered in secret meetings to discuss the looming threat. In a dimly lit room, the President of Earth stood before a group of scientists and military advisors. "We cannot let them take our planet," the President said, his voice filled with urgency. "We must find a way to protect our people." The scientists were worried. They knew that the Empire's technology was far beyond anything humans possessed. But deep within the Earth, something ancient and powerful waited to be discovered. A team of scientists set out to explore a hidden cave system in a remote area. After hours of digging, they stumbled upon an ancient artifact covered in dust and glowing faintly. Dr. Elena Carter, the lead scientist, reached out and touched the artifact. A surge of energy flowed through her, and she gasped in awe. This is incredible! It feels alive!" The team gathered around, their eyes wide with wonder. They had never seen anything like it. The artifact pulsed with energy, and they sensed it held great power. But what kind of power? They were eager to find out. Meanwhile, the Galactic Empire's fleet moved closer to Earth. Their ships were massive and intimidating, like dark shadows against the stars. Admiral Karan, the commander of the fleet, watched the planet through his ship's viewport. He sneered at the sight. "Prepare the invasion! Those humans won't know what hit them!" Back on Earth, Dr. Carter and her team worked day and night trying to understand the artifact. They conducted tests, taking samples and running simulations. As they worked, they noticed strange symbols on the artifact. They looked ancient, like a language lost to time. One night, while studying the artifact, Dr. Carter accidentally triggered a reaction. Bright light filled the room, and everyone shielded their eyes. When the light faded, a figure appeared before them. It was a cosmic entity, shimmering with energy. It spoke in a voice that resonated deep within their minds. "Humans, you have awakened me. I am the guardian of the cosmos. I can give you the power to fight against your enemies, but you must use it wisely." The scientists were stunned. They had summoned a being of incredible power. Dr. Carter stepped forward, her heart racing. "Can you really help us? The Galactic Empire is coming to take our world." "Yes," the entity replied, "but you must first prove yourselves worthy. You must unite and believe in your strength. Only then can you harness the power I offer." The team exchanged glances, feeling a spark of hope. They had been afraid, but now they realized they were not helpless. They had the chance to fight back. Word of the cosmic entity spread quickly. People across the globe began to gather, sharing stories of hope and courage. Communities united as they prepared for the Empire's invasion. Everyone felt a new sense of purpose. They were ready to stand together, not as separate nations, but as one strong force. As the Galactic Empire's ships entered Earth's atmosphere, humans were no longer afraid. They had found their strength and were willing to protect their planet. The artifact had awakened something within them, a spirit of resilience that they didn't know they possessed. The Empire's invasion would not go as planned. Humans had a power now, an ancient power that could change the fate of their world. The battle for Earth was about to begin, and humanity was ready to fight. Little did the Empire know, they had underestimated the determination of the human spirit. The threat from the stars had awakened not just cosmic forces, but a fierce resolve within every human being. As the first battles loomed on the horizon, the stage was set for an epic showdown between the mighty Galactic Empire and the resilient people of Earth. The time for action had come, and the humans would not back down. As the sun rose over Earth, a sense of urgency filled the air. Dr. Elena Carter and her team gathered in their lab, where the ancient artifact pulsed with a warm light. The cosmic entity hovered nearby, its presence both comforting and powerful. "Are we ready to harness this power?" Dr. Carter asked, glancing at her colleagues. Each scientist felt a mix of excitement and fear. They were on the brink of something extraordinary, but the responsibility weighed heavily on them. The entity spoke, its voice echoing in their minds. "To awaken the power, you must believe in yourselves and work together. Focus your intentions on the artifact, and you will see its true potential." The team closed their eyes, taking deep breaths to calm their minds. They reached out to the artifact, forming a circle around it. As they concentrated, they felt the energy building. A bright light enveloped them, and suddenly they were filled with a surge of strength. It was as if the universe itself had entered their bodies. When they opened their eyes, they saw that the artifact had transformed. It now glowed with a brilliant blue light, and strange symbols danced across its surface. Each scientist felt a new ability awakening within them. Dr. Carter found she could manipulate energy, while her colleague, Dr. Raj Patel, discovered he could move objects with his mind. The others also awakened unique powers, each more incredible than the last. "Look!" Raj exclaimed, lifting a chair with just a thought. "We have real powers now." The team celebrated, but the cosmic entity reminded them, "This power is a gift, but it comes with great responsibility. Use it wisely." Meanwhile, the news of their transformation spread like wildfire across the globe. People everywhere began to gather, excited by the prospect of fighting back against the Galactic Empire. Messages of hope filled the airwaves, inspiring countless humans to believe in their strength. In cities and towns, individuals started to discover their own hidden abilities. A young woman in New York could create shields of light to protect herself. A man in Tokyo found he could run at super speed. All around the world, humanity was awakening. As the Galactic Empire's fleet approached Earth, Admiral Karen was unaware of the changes taking place. He stood on the bridge of his flagship, a smug smile on his face. "Prepare for the invasion! Those foolish humans will soon be begging for mercy." But as the Empire's ships descended into the atmosphere, they were met with a shocking sight. Instead of the fearful humans they expected, they found a united front of brave warriors ready to defend their planet. Dr. Carter and her team led the charge from their command center, coordinating with newly empowered humans from every corner of the world. "We must work together," she urged. "Each of us has a role to play." As the first wave of Empire ships reached the surface, humans formed teams to protect their cities. With Dr. Carter's guidance, they practiced using their new abilities. They learned to create powerful energy blasts, shields, and even teleport short distances. The Empire's ships fired at the ground, but humans were ready. They dodged and countered, unleashing their newfound powers. Bright flashes of energy lit up the sky as humans fought back with determination. The air crackled with excitement and hope. In the heart of the chaos, Dr. Carter saw her team working together. Raj was using his telekinesis to lift debris, helping people escape danger. Another scientist, Dr. Maya Lin, created barriers to protect civilians from falling debris. Together, they showcased the true power of teamwork. As the battles intensified, the cosmic entity watched with pride. It had given humanity the tools they needed, but it was their spirit and unity that truly shone. They fought not just for themselves, but for each other. Back on the Empire's flagship, Admiral Karen began to feel the tide turning. Reports flooded in from his officers, describing the unexpected resistance from the humans. "What is happening?" he shouted, disbelief spreading across his face. "These humans are fighting back!" With each passing moment, the Galactic Empire realized they had underestimated humanity. The humans were no longer the weak creatures they thought they could conquer. They had awakened a power within themselves, one that could challenge even the mightiest of foes. As the battles raged on, hope grew stronger. Humans everywhere began to believe they could win. They had the power now, and they were ready to defend their planet against the Empire's forces. The fight for Earth had truly begun, and the world watched in awe as their heroes emerged. The skies over Earth were filled with smoke and light as the battle raged on. Ships from the Galactic Empire hovered above cities, their weapons blazing down on the brave humans below. But humanity was not afraid. United by their newfound powers, they stood ready to defend their planet. In a command center, Dr. Elena Carter watched the monitors with a determined look on her face. The holographic map displayed the locations of the Empire's ships and their movements. "We need to coordinate our attacks," she said, pointing at the screen. "If we strike together, we can take them by surprise." Around her, a diverse group of empowered humans nodded, ready to act. Raj Patel, who had discovered he could control energy, stepped forward. "I can create energy blasts to take out their weapons. Just tell me where to aim." Dr. Carter smiled. "Good idea! Maya, can you teleport our fighters to strategic positions?" Maya nodded, her eyes shining with confidence. She had learned to teleport herself and others, making her a key player in their strategy. As the group prepared for their counterattack, news came in from various locations. Reports of humans using their powers to defend against the Empire flooded in. In Los Angeles, a group of empowered citizens formed a shield around a hospital, protecting the injured from falling debris. In London, others used their abilities to lift people to safety as Empire soldiers advanced. "We can't let them take our cities," Dr. Carter urged. "Each of us must play our part." Meanwhile, Admiral Karen on his flagship was growing more frustrated. The Empire's forces, once feared, were now facing fierce resistance. His officers brought him reports of their ships being disabled by energy blasts and shields that humans had conjured. "Reinforce our front lines," he ordered, his voice sharp with anger. "We cannot lose to these pathetic creatures." Back on the ground, humans rallied together. A group of teenagers in New York discovered their powers while fighting back. They could create small but powerful shock waves that knocked back the Empire's soldiers. "We can do this," one of them shouted as they worked together to defend their city. As the battles continued, Dr. Carter coordinated attacks from the command center. "Raj, aim for that ship's energy core," she instructed. Raj concentrated, gathering energy in his hands. With a swift movement, he unleashed a powerful blast. The explosion lit up the sky as the Empire's ship went down, creating a shockwave that rippled through the air. Cheers erupted from the humans on the ground. "We can win this!" someone shouted, lifting their hands in victory. In a nearby city, a group of empowered humans faced an Empire battalion. They had learned to work together, combining their powers for greater strength. "Form a line!" a leader called out. "We need to protect our families." As the Empire soldiers charged forward, humans created a massive energy shield that shimmered in the sunlight. The Empire's weapons fired, but the shield absorbed the blasts, protecting the humans behind it. Inspired by their bravery, other groups joined in. They formed lines of energy shields, creating barriers to hold back the Empire's advance. The humans fought with everything they had, united in their cause. Dr. Carter saw the tide turning. "We're pushing them back," she exclaimed, a mix of hope and determination in her voice. "We can do this, but we must stay focused." The battle was not without its losses. Humans were injured, and some even fell in the fight. But their spirits remained unbroken. Each time they faced a setback, they rallied together, offering support and encouragement. Admiral Karan watched from his ship as his forces began to falter. "Retreat!" he shouted, frustration boiling over. But the order was met with chaos as his soldiers scrambled to escape the wrath of the humans they had underestimated. The humans saw their chance and pushed forward. With every victory, their confidence grew. They were no longer afraid, they were empowered, and they were fighting for their home. As the sun set, casting an orange glow over the battlefield, Dr. Carter gathered her team. "This is just the beginning. We have to keep fighting until every last one of them is gone." The roar of triumph echoed through the streets as humans stood together, victorious against their enemies. They had discovered their strength and were ready to defend Earth at any cost. The fight for survival was far from over, but together they believed they could achieve anything. The Galactic Empire had awakened a force they could never control, and humanity was ready to show the universe what they were truly capable of. As the battle raged on, the Galactic Empire faced a growing crisis. Their once mighty fleet was battered and retreating. Ships that had been symbols of their power now lay in ruins, burning in the atmosphere. Admiral Karen paced the bridge of his flagship, frustration evident on his face. "Report!" he commanded, his voice cutting through the chaos around him. His officers scrambled to gather information, their faces pale with fear. "Admiral," one officer said, "the humans are fighting back with unexpected strength. We've lost several ships, and their powers seem to be growing stronger by the hour." Karan clenched his fists. "This cannot be. We are the Galactic Empire. We cannot be defeated by mere humans." He knew that they had underestimated Earth and its people. Now he was paying the price. In the heart of the Empire's command center, high-ranking officials gathered for an emergency meeting. The holographic display showed the battlefield, highlighting the losses and the humans' newfound powers. The mood was tense. "We must rethink our strategy," a council member said. "If we continue this way, we will lose everything." "Are we really going to retreat?" another official asked, disbelief in their voice. "What will the other galaxies think of us?" "Desperation is our only choice if we do not adapt," a seasoned general replied. "We must use our greatest weapon to end this quickly." Karan's eyes narrowed. "You mean the Nova Cannon? It's a last resort." The Nova Cannon was a devastating weapon capable of wiping out entire cities. It was powerful but controversial, and using it would mean crossing a line they had never crossed before. "We have no choice," the general insisted. "If we don't act now, the Empire will fall." Reluctantly, Karan nodded. "Prepare the Nova Cannon. We'll show them the true power of the Galactic Empire." Meanwhile, on Earth, Dr. Elena Carter and her team continued to inspire hope. They gathered reports from across the globe where empowered humans had formed alliances. Each victory made them stronger, but Dr. Carter knew the Empire would not give up easily. "They will come at us with everything they have," she warned her team. "We need to be ready." In a nearby city, a group of young heroes trained together, combining their powers. They practiced using energy blasts and shields, growing more skilled by the day. "We can't let them take our homes," one of the teens shouted. "We have to fight for our families." As the sun set, casting a crimson hue over the battle-scarred cities, a chilling message echoed through the air. The Empire had announced its intention to use the Nova Cannon. "They plan to wipe out entire cities." Dr. Carter gasped as she read the news. "We have to stop them." The urgency grew. Dr. Carter gathered her team and rallied empowered humans from all over the world. "We cannot let them use that weapon. We must find a way to disable it." The group set out, determined to prevent the destruction of their home. In the Empire's flagship, preparations for the Nova Cannon were underway. Karan stood at the helm, watching as his crew worked feverishly. "Ready the cannon," he ordered. "This will end the rebellion once and for all." As the cannon powered up, a bright light filled the room. Karan felt a surge of confidence. This would prove their dominance over Earth. But deep down a voice whispered doubt. Could they truly control the power they were about to unleash? Back on Earth, Dr. Carter and her team moved stealthily toward the Empire's ships. "If we can get close enough, I can disable their systems," Raj suggested. "But we'll need a distraction." Maya nodded. "I can teleport us close, but we have to be quick." With careful planning, the team moved into action. They split into two groups, one to create a distraction and another to disable the cannon. The first group launched a series of energy blasts toward the Empire's ship, drawing attention away from their comrades. "Now, Maya!" Dr. Carter shouted. With a burst of energy, Maya teleported them right next to the Nova Cannon. They quickly scanned the area, noticing armed guards and high-tech security systems. "This is it," Dr. Carter said, determination shining in her eyes. "We stop this now!" As they moved into position, Karan's voice echoed through the ship. "Fire the Nova Cannon!" At that moment, a bright light filled the air. The cannon was ready to unleash its devastating power, but Dr. Carter and her team were determined to stop it. They could feel the weight of the battle on their shoulders. The fate of their planet hung in the balance, and they were ready to fight for their home. The time for desperation had come for both the Empire and humanity. The stakes had never been higher, and the fight for survival was about to reach its climax. The air crackled with tension as Dr. Elena Carter and her team prepared to stop the Nova Cannon. They had just teleported onto the Empire's flagship, adrenaline pumping through their veins. In the heart of the ship, a massive control room glowed with lights and screens. The hum of machinery filled the air, but the loudest sound was the countdown to destruction. 10 seconds until firing!" An officer shouted from across the room, panic etched on his face. "We have to move fast," Dr. Carter urged, her heart racing. "Raj, can you disable the control panel?" Raj nodded, his hands already gathering energy. "Just cover me!" As Raj focused on the control panel, the team moved in unison. Maya created a shield to protect them from incoming blasts, while others aimed their powers at the guards rushing toward them. "We won't let you destroy our planet," one of the fighters shouted, energy crackling around them. The guards fired their weapons, but the humans were ready. Raj unleashed a powerful energy blast, hitting the control panel directly. Sparks flew as the panel flickered and dimmed. "I think I've got it!" he shouted. 5 seconds! The officer yelled, his voice filled with fear. Dr. Carter focused her mind, drawing on the energy around her. "Maya, get ready to teleport us out if we need to!" With one last push, Raj sent a surge of energy into the control panel. The lights flickered wildly, and alarms blared throughout the ship. "It's working!" he yelled. 2 seconds! Just as the countdown hit 1, the room exploded with energy. The Nova Cannon systems short-circuited, sending a shockwave through the ship. The cannon powered down, leaving the crew stunned and confused. The humans cheered, a wave of relief washing over them. "Now's our chance!" Dr. Carter shouted. We need to take control of the ship! The team moved quickly, using their powers to subdue the remaining guards. Karan, the Empire's admiral, emerged from the shadows, eyes blazing with anger. You think you've won? He spat. You're nothing but insects! Dr. Carter stepped forward, standing tall. We are not insects. We are united and we will protect our home. Karan hesitated, seeing the determination in her eyes. For the first time, he felt doubt. He had underestimated humanity and their strength. You think this will change anything? He retorted, though his voice wavered slightly. It has already changed everything, Dr. Carter replied. Your empire has caused enough pain. We will not allow you to destroy Earth. With the Nova cannon disabled, the tide had turned. The humans took control of the ship, forcing the remaining guards to surrender. Karan knew he had lost the battle. Fine, he growled. You may have won today, but the Empire will return. Dr. Carter shook her head. You can leave in peace, or we can make this war even worse for you. The choice is yours. Karan looked around at the defeated faces of his crew. They had seen too much destruction, too much loss. Finally, he sighed, defeated. I will order a retreat, he said, the weight of surrender heavy on his shoulders. As Karan signaled his fleet to withdraw, cheers erupted from the humans. They had done it. They had defended their home and brought down a mighty empire. But Dr. Carter knew this was just the beginning. Let's send a message, she said, her voice firm. The Empire must know that Earth is no longer a target. The team quickly transmitted a message to all Galactic Empire ships. Earth is united and will defend itself against any future attacks. We are no longer afraid. With their message sent, the humans gathered together. They embraced, feeling the weight of their victory. But they also knew that the real challenge lay ahead. In the days that followed, Earth began to rebuild. Empowered humans joined forces with ordinary citizens, sharing their abilities to create a safer, stronger world. Dr. Carter and her team led efforts to establish a council where humans could work together to ensure peace. As they stood together looking at the stars, Dr. Carter felt hope bloom in her heart. We've entered a new era, she said, her voice steady. We will not let fear control us anymore. Raj smiled. Together we can face anything. The Empire may have retreated, but we are ready for whatever comes next. The humans had proven their strength, not just through their powers, but through their unity. They had fought for their home and won, and now they stood as guardians of Earth, prepared for whatever challenges lay ahead. The future was bright, and for the first time they truly felt free.